take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now.
I'm not lying. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly.
Hi guys, welcome back. So the latest lawyer to take on Diddy is Tony Buzbee. Now he says that he received thousands of calls and they were able to whittle it down to 120 victims. Thousands of calls from people claiming to be victims of Diddy's. So he has 120 victims, he's taken on various cases, and he said over the next 30 days there are going to be various lawsuits from all of the people whose cases he has taken on. And he said names are going to be revealed. The names that are revealed will shock you, according to Buzbee. And he also said that there may be more indictments because he is going to cooperate with the authorities and allow the FBI to investigate further. There were 120 victims, 55 of whom were minors at the time of these alleged offences. He said one person was just 9 years old.
When you talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of.
He said the victims are evenly split between male and female, predominantly African American, about 30% white.
In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida.
He made it clear that the cases he's taking on is not just against Diddy, but also against Diddy's associates, the people who covered things up, the people who encouraged him to do what he did, the people who lied, and the people who engaged in the same behavior with him. That these people are claiming to have been SA'd, they're saying they were forced, they were lured by promises of getting a record deal, promises of a music career at such a young age. Their parents more than likely were drawn into it as well, wanting their kids to be successful within the music industry. That led to boundaries perhaps being relaxed, people being too trusting because they're thinking this is a big time music executive. They trusted their child with this person. And as a result, these people are alleging that they were SA'd by Diddy and his associates. So the lawyer has now come out and said that he believes the associates, the people who were involved in all the things that happened over a course of decades, are now scrambling to cover their tracks. They're now scrambling to make sure that their name isn't implicated, to make sure that they are not exposed. He's saying that they essentially are paying people off as we speak. Obviously, we know that this is how it works. They pay people off, they pay people for their silence, and these people sign, all sorts of documents, NDAs. So let's get into it. Some celebrities who risked being caught in the allegations against Sean Diddy Combs have already settled the victims in an effort to keep their names out of the spotlight, according to an attorney on the case. Major celebrities are scrambling amid concerns they could face serious allegations themselves. Diddy has been charged with a host of trafficking and racketeering offences, with upwards of 120 victims already coming forward. But according to Buzbee, some celebrities could avoid retribution because they got on front foot. Everyone is focused on what other celebrities were involved. Who is going to be named? Who is going to be outed? I don't expect that to happen this week, he said. We want to make sure, if we name individuals beyond Mr. Combs, that we have done our homework, because it is going to create a firestorm, and we understand that. If you were there in the room, participated, watched it happen, and didn't say anything, or helped cover it up, in my view, you have a problem. Now, yes, that's true. More than likely, you could very well be implicated if any of those things apply to you. But we know how it works. We know how it works in the industry, in Hollywood. People have gotten away with these things for decades, as we've seen here. So I do think some names are going to be revealed. I really do. But I do think at the same time, there are going to be people who continue to get away with it. Unfortunately. I like to think that every single person involved is going to be exposed. I mean, Diddy, you could say, is one of the most powerful. And he has been exposed now, so nobody is exempt. People with less money, less influence than him are less likely to get away with it if Diddy himself, didn't get away with it. But we know how things went down with Mr. E. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison right now for trafficking people to absolutely nobody. Why are those names concealed? Why haven't they been indicted and brought up on charges? Why aren't they in the jail with her? Buzbee vowed to pursue the cases against any offender aggressively and said the scope was broad. A lot of people saw this activity going on. A lot of people allowed it to go on, said nothing, didn't intervene. All of these individuals and entities have exposure. Buzbee said he was sent out demand letters to other celebrities and high-profile people in an effort to give them an opportunity to quietly settle. He did say that he would cooperate with the FBI, pass on names to the FBI so they could investigate it as a criminal matter. But with these lawsuits, these are civil matters. So yeah, so you can just settle out of court, you can settle quietly, and your name will remain out of it. Obviously, if it goes to court, loads of public records, the public will know your name, all will be exposed. But if it's outside of court, yeah, the victims would be required to sign an NDA, so they can't go to the press, they can't go to the Breakfast Club, they can't go all over town, telling your name to everybody. And unfortunately, we won't get to know who these people are. So some of these people, they will want to protest their innocence. They may want to fight it in court. And that's when everything is revealed. All the information, all the evidence will be laid out. So if it goes down that route, that's a different story. So he has sent letters to the names that he has received of people who are involved in this, allegedly involved in this. He has sent them letters and given them an opportunity to settle out of court. That in itself will be a victory for his clients. They will receive some sort of payment. No amount of money is going to make up for what they went through. No amount of money. But at the same time, it's an acknowledgement. But other people might say, why are you allowing them to settle? If you truly believe that these people were doing wrong behind the scenes, why don't you expose them? That's the best thing to do. So, it depends on how you look at it. In every single case, especially cases like this, because it's in the best interest of the victim, we attempt to resolve these matters without the filing of a public lawsuit. And we've done that already with a handful of individuals, many of which you've heard of before. Wow, I would love to know who those names are. So yeah, the victim themselves may not want it all divulged. They may want to settle quietly as well. So let me know what you think. Do you think these names are going to be revealed, that it may go to court, not just with Diddy, but with his associates too, with the people who were linked to him all of those years? Obviously, there are people who he has worked with, people who he has dated. J-Lo's name keeps getting brought up because people do question, did you not have any idea about what was going on? That's the first question people ask. And then there's people who just went to his parties. They may not have gone to the freak-offs. They may have just gone to the regular party, and whatever happened afterwards, they had nothing to do with that. Leonardo DiCaprio, for example, we know that he went to some parties and he said, okay, yeah, I went to some parties, but I didn't go to any freak-offs. But that's all it takes. If you've gone to a Diddy party, your name may very well be implicated. If you've worked with Diddy, like Meek Mills, and if you've been produced by him, if you're friends with him, that's all it takes for people to question, how did you not know what was going on? And if you knew, does this apply to you? Are you the people who didn't say anything, helped cover it up, didn't report anything to the police, which generally people have a duty to do? People bring up names like Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jaguar Wright is out there saying some things. Well, I'll do a video on that. Well, she's always saying some things, but she's mentioning specific names. She's even mentioned Meghan and Harry. She's mentioned people who she believes went to freak-offs. I don't think all of that's going to come out from this lawsuit, per se, especially if people are going to settle behind the scenes, settle quietly. There's a lot of people scrambling behind the scenes, and for some people it may work, for others it may not, and their names are going to be exposed. So thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Press the bell for more, and I'll see you in the next video.